Today with us we have Mr. Vinayak Katkalmbekar, who has 20 plus years of experience in IP, and he has worked with Tata, Bajaj.
I given the patent agent exam before joining any law firms there. Before the result come, I applied to the Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan.
What is your suggestion if someone is starting the career in IPR?
My personal suggestion is that work is a work. Better to do any work. It's always better to start your career in a law firm. You learn every tricks there and whatever you like it. If you like doing your job in a law firm, please do it. There people are doing great.
Your final advice to the IP professionals first and then inventors.
Don't take IP in isolation. Always take IP as a part of business and how IP should be in an asset class than in a cost class. If you take that, then you do miracle.
So welcome to another chapter of Built on Brains. Today with us we have Mr. Vinayak Katkalmbekar, who has 20 plus years of experience in IP. He is a mechanical engineer, postgraduate in mechanical engineering, and he has worked with companies like Tata, Bajaj, and now he is here to share his experience, which can be utilized for the people who are aspiring to be the managers in IPR, and also the people who want to build their parent portfolio. So this video is sponsored by Brainiac IP Solutions. So I thank you, Mr. Vinayak, to join this podcast, and it's a pleasure to have you on this podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Sunit. So I'm also very happy to be part of your Built on Brains. So I have seen a few of your podcasts, and the level of your podcasts are really good. So happy to be part.
Oh, thank you. So before we start, I would like to know your journey. Where are you from, and how you built and came till joined IPR actually?
Yeah, thank you. So as you told, I have done my post graduation in mechanical engineering. After that, I went to NCR region for doing PhD in my specialization field, that is tribology.
Okay.
So meantime I have opted for lectureship in NCR region. So in first attempt I did not got through the that PhD interview and their process. So I continued with the lectureship, and then meantime I got information about some 3 days workshop in IIT Roorkee. Okay. So I joined there, the 3 days workshop. That time Control General was there, so he was there present in that workshop.
Okay.
So the workshop was very enlightening, and after attending that, I decided that this is a good option for doing a career.
Okay.
So later I inquired about this IP field a lot, and then decided that I can make my career in IP field.
Okay.
So, and meantime, one of my friend has persuaded me to not to go for PhD because it's a very tiresome and it's very lengthy process.
Okay.
And I also like this field, so I joined this field. So to start with, before joining entering in any field, in any organization, I given the patent agent exam.
Okay.
Before joining any law firms there. So before the result come, I applied to the Lakshmi Kumaran and Sridharan.
Okay.
It was a
law
firm there. So I got selected there, and then that's my started journey with there.
Okay.
Then I joined the Lexadime Solutions, where you were my colleague.
Lexadime Solutions, right? 2008.
Right. So after that, then Pune, I was 4 years with RK Diwan and Company.
Okay.
So this is 8 years experience in law firms. In law firms, where I have learned all the tricks. So it is not planned, but it has happened. So whatever work come to me, I accepted those work. So as you know, started from the preparing the forms.
Yes.
Then searching, drafting, freedom to operate searches, landscape analysis, doing the prosecution, be it India or be it US or in UK countries. Then hearings. Except attend the hearing, because that time it's a physical hearing.
Right.
Our Mumbai office used to do that. But all the background, like preparing the strategies for the hearing, and then after hearing, preparing the written submissions. So everything. So these 8 years I have learned, say whatever you can do in a law firm. So everything I have learnt.
Okay.
And then after that, I thought now I can move to in-house. So
Okay.
then I joined Tata Motors. I have been in Tata Motors 10 years there. So
Oh, that's a long period.
It's a long period. So started as a manager there and worked for 1 year. I was officiating as an IPR head there. So after 10 years, I joined Bajaj Electricals.
Uh-huh.
So I worked there for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So here also, as may you say, the destiny has its own way. So I have worked in all aspects. So like be it like IPR systems processes, then IPR creation, protection, IP risk management, IP commercialization. I have attended so many hearings in the high courts.
Okay.
Be it a Delhi High Court, be it a Mumbai High Court. I have attended various mediations in the high courts.
Okay.
I have also worked in the advertisement compliances. So
Okay, great.
So it's like I said, it's a destiny had something to do with it. So here also I worked in the entire spectrum of the IP.
Okay.
So and meantime when I was in Tata Motors, I got selected in IPO and JPO course, which happens in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay.
So 3 week course in Tokyo, Japan for the practitioner who has specialization in patents.
Okay.
So that's the journey, and these 3 weeks in that JPO course was really good. It has like what I can say, it has formulated a new way in the my IP journey.
Okay.
So lot of things I have like learned there. So be it like doing the searching in a very like a effective and a specialized way.
Mm-hmm.
Then be it IP risk management,
Okay.
be it IPR management, like how to file a patent, like what is the ideal way of filing a patent application.
Okay.
So many things I have learned there,
Okay.
and it was a very good journey. I can say it's a very great journey, and it has given a way to my further IPR.
Okay.
So that's a
It's fortunate for IP fraternity to have you in this field actually. So just wanted to know more about this Japanese course that you have mentioned, because many may not get a chance to do that, and many may aspire, but investment is high, I guess, for that. So is it really, as you have explained, is it really worth to invest in that kind of courses?
No, it's one thing I can tell you, it's now zero investment. It has been selected by, so generally people apply for the course, and then only 4 people in the India they will select, and then and there is no investment, there is zero. Everything they will sponsor. So
even stay. Okay.
3 weeks stay, even tickets, even they will insure you, medical insurance, all those things. There, whatever travel. So for all that course purposes, they will sponsor you.
Okay.
Even your food, they will sponsor you. Practically, there is no expenditure from your side.
Great.
So it's like a very good thing. And nowadays, I see they have stopped it. I don't know, but
you are unfortunate, I guess, now.
And again, we are not eligible also. So it is for the particular level of experience only.
Age group.
So maybe for us it's not. But for the new people who aspire to learn, because they're not only from India, most part of the world, the people will come from there, like Mexico, then Argentina, then Thailand, then Sri Lanka, Myanmar, Pakistan. Every country, the people will come there, and it's like a 40-50 people from all over world will come, and all the tutors are from Japan only. They are from industry, they are from academia, and they are from patent office. So they are from their Japanese law firms. So every people will come, and they are really like you can say expert people, very expert people. I have not seen so expertise.
Okay. That's great. So as you mentioned that you were earlier pursuing PhD, but fortunately you got exposure to IP. So what is the one thing that is holding you still in IP? What is that?
No, so the one thing what I liked is there is always a feeling that I am doing something different. And this is a field, as you know, you have also entered in the same period I have entered into this field. So that time, very few people know the patent.
Correct.
Very few people know the IPR.
Correct.
So most of the time, during discussion, suppose I told I'm a patent agent, so people will think like it's a property agent.
Still many people don't know.
So something like that. You have to tell people like, okay, what I do, what is the importance of this field.
Okay.
Now people are knowing. So what
right,
is the IP, what is patent? But that time it's a very new. So that has excited me and still keep me excited.
Okay.
And only the good part or whatever the destiny part you can say. Now also I am getting exposure to the new things. So which keep me on my foot. So it's not like that. Okay, now I can sit and okay, whatever I had learned is okay for me. But it's not like that. Every time it's a new learning, new things has to be. I'm getting exposure to. So that's what keep going.
Okay.
And also as you said, the most important part which keeps me here is my love to this profession. I like this profession. So I have chosen this profession. So
that is what my experience is also.
Correct.
So is there anything that is toughest in this field which keeps you little यार हमने गलत choice कर लिया कभी
it's not like that, but what I think is people management.
Okay.
Which I think is the toughest part.
Okay.
So technically you can learn, you can keep people motivate people to learn, but the attitude of the people is important. So maybe you are at say level 5, so you have to keep your people, your team into the at least 4 or 4.5 or near to your level. I am not talking in terms of your knowledge or something. I am talking in terms of attitude or in the learning ability or to grasp something. So like suppose today if it is said I have to learn something new, okay, we should be ready. So that's what I think. Like there are certain instances where people think that okay, I know everything. Even though with say suppose 5-10 years of experience, people think okay, I know everything. So that's what something is we have to challenge.
Maybe that is the part and parcel of seniority that we reach eventually. Great. But have you been into any recruitment process?
It's a part of like from last.
How do you manage when your decisions go wrong? When everything goes well in the interview and when you put them to work, there is something that was not expected.
No, very frankly speaking, not such like if it has drastically went wrong. As I said, our responsibility is as a senior of responsibility to keep the people motivated. That's the biggest thing we have to do it, and we should not like some, as you know, certain period of the time we take it on us personally, because when it is a team, disagreement will happen.
Correct.
Disagreement will happen on the technical terms. Disagreement will happen on the personal terms.
Correct.
But what I have learned, nobody will come as a learned person from zero. We learn.
Correct.
So
gradually
we learn. So now I can say that after a considerable handling of the team, handling of the people, I can say most of the time if you listen to your team, your 80-90% of the problem will get solved.
Something different.
Listening to like sometimes what will happen now, like suppose your team member is frustrated by anything.
Okay.
Maybe with you, maybe with work, maybe with the work pressure, maybe with somebody else in your organization. But if he comes to you and he started to vent out again, not against you or towards you, but he started to vent out. Earlier, what I used to take, okay, it's why the person talking like this.
Maybe like backbiting. We think like it is backbiting.
It's something like that. But then I understood, no, we should not take it as a personally. We can see it as, okay, he's having some problem. He's trying to telling you that he's facing some problem. So listening to him, what I understood, 80% of the problem is solved if you listen calmly to him.
Okay.
But if we react, by like you are a boss, I am a boss, I am some this one. So if anybody has that feeling, then it may go wrong. But if you just listen to them, okay, they may have maybe he's venting out something, we should listen. Maybe 80% time you have nothing to do. You don't have to do anything.
Just listen,
and then the problem will get solved. That's what my
experience.
My experience.
That's great because India is having so much big population.
Correct.
In spite of that, getting a right person
Correct.
with the right attitude is difficult.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
So and ultimately team is what makes the company successful. Actually, if there is one wrong person, I think so it may spoil entire perspective or vision of the company as well.
Correct.
So great. So anything that unique you do while selecting your team member?
I go for attitude. I technically suppose I require X, Y, Z, like three attributes I require. Suppose I think a person has only X or Y, only two features, but his attitude is good. His learning ability is good. Like he wants to learn. So I will give more preference to that person than the person who has the X, Y, Z, all the three attributes, but he don't want to learn. Because as in whether in in-house or you can agree in law firms also,
Correct.
It's not like that every work is defined. There are certain times what will happen, your work is undefined work will come. So sometimes you have to do such kind of work which is not defined in your JD, job description. It is, you cannot define it, but then has to do it. So in that period of time, how that person will take. So that is more important. So that's what I see. I see the attitude of the person. So when I think that person's attitude is good, I will select him, because anybody can learn anything. You are in the same period of the time like I am there. So you cannot say you are perfect. I cannot say I am perfect. Because you know that suppose certain problems will come, we have to ask somebody. Which we
still we ask actually. There is a group where we ask.
Correct. So that's what we have to do. So that is the thing. But only thing that nobody should think that he knows everything in the field. So that's what. And he should be able to learn. So we can learn from anybody. Like sometimes I'll say we can learn from our team also. We can learn from our seniors also. We can learn from our co-workers also. So it's everybody should able to be open to learn. So that's why I said in my introduction part, like advertisement compliances, which ideally is a broader part of the IP, but which I have not done till last 1.5 years or 2 years. But in my earlier organization, I have to learn it. I have learned it from zero. I have learned it. I have learned it and learned. I have done some mistake. Might be done some mistake also. But now I am reasonably doing those things. So it's a thing. We have to open and do the things. That's
good. So because earlier we took a podcast on career actually, and now I am getting a first-hand inputs. What kind of attitude or what kind of attributes are required to work in an organization? I think so. This will be good for the people, Gen Z specifically, I guess, to be right on attitude. If you want to work in a team, that's what I can say.
And Gen Z also know what my personal experience. You satisfy their ego, they are very good. Okay. You do not do them bossing. Like if you started to micromanage them, then it will become a problematic. But if you tell this is the thing, you have to do it. If you need my help, you can come. You give him a power. What my observation, they do very good work. They do whatever more than them. But generally, what is some old-fashioned bosses thing, they want to very micromanage, and they want कि मेरे 2 घंटे का मेरा update बता. You tell me what you have done in a day. Like these people I have seen, sometimes they for a half day they will do
nothing.
But next half day they will do whatever it's supposed to be doing in 8 hours. So it's better to give them a target, give them a work, and tell you deliver me. They will deliver. Right. But if you start micromanaging them, and then what we have seen in earlier days of law firms where bosses
not to name.
So if you do like that, then they will create more problems to us. So
actually, this is something different that I have learned. Maybe audience is also learning from you. So a new way of handling the new generation, I guess.
This is my experience.
So one of the new ways, I can say. There may be many other things. So thank you for sharing this. And as you worked with initially, as you said, you are fortunate to get into law firm and then into corporate companies where in law firms you learned everything and then you moved on to the corporate job. So when a IPR person is going through his journey, so your journey seems to be an ideal journey where hands-on experience is there, then you get into managerial role. So what is your suggestion if someone is starting their career in IPR and specifically into patents? So should they follow the way you have followed, or is there anything that they can still fine tune?
No, I don't think my journey is ideal, but for me personally, I think I'm comfortable whatever I do, because what happened, like now, as I told, when I started my career or when I work in law firm, is we used to do like a draft of form also, form
Right,
1,
right,
form
right.
2, form 3s, and then we used to get a physical signature of our bosses, and then we used to like staple them, we used to put in the envelope,
Right,
and then
right.
we used to courier it to
Right,
the
right.
respective offices.
Right.
It seems like if nowadays people don't like it, like if somebody says you take a print, you take a staple it, you give
Don't, that's an ego issue now.
there you go.
Right.
But what my personal experience, my personal suggestion is that work is a work. Work is a work. Now, if I have not done that form 1, I mean, I might have missed something. Now, like suppose my teammate is not there or somebody is not there and it's some urgent work I have to do. I am not fearful.
Right.
I can do. I can do anything.
Anything, right.
So anything, if required, and even though my some team is not with me, I can do anything.
Right.
So that's confidence you will have it. So it's better to do any work and open to the all work. And when you start a career, you are almost a bachelor.
Correct.
So at least 4-5 years after starting a work, you are a bachelor. So there is nothing to do. You do any work. Your boss say you are, even if in a law firm,
Right.
you will, whatever you learn there, you will not learn in anywhere else. You will not get that opportunity. So if you are asking my suggestion, it's always better to start your career in a law firm.
Mm-hmm.
You learn every tricks there, everything you learn there. I know learning in a law firm, doing a job in a law firm is difficult, except your firm, because I have not because you have united me in your podcast, but I have seen your people which is in your organization from last so many years. I know
Correct.
people because I know for your office inauguration I have come.
Correct.
So I have seen people now. So many people are still there in your organization, but so that's the thing. Like, having said that, like working in a law firm is difficult.
Yes.
You have to do a lot of work. You have to burn your nights oil. Sometimes weekend you have to work,
Correct.
which we
No,
have.
correct, we did it.
We all have work. You work, but what will happen now? By doing that, you learn everything of the trade, and then when you go to in-house, then you will not feel like what you have to do.
Correct.
Suppose any draft has come to you have to just review and say, okay, this part is
This
not
part.
good, this part is not good.
Correct.
You can give suggestion to the law firms.
Correct.
Okay, you can do.
Correct.
And so start with the law firm, go to the in-house, and staying in a law firm is not a bad. I have seen people who have started in a law firm, still in a law firm, moved as a partner. They are doing, some of my friends in Delhi High Court, they are junior counsels. Maybe after some 5-10 years, they will become a senior counsels. And they argue, in front of High Court, they argue their cases. So, only thing, most important thing, you learn all the tricks of your trade. You learn all the tricks of your trade, be it anything, small thing. As I said, like whatever may be, small thing you learn, you will become more confident. Like it's equally important, and doing a landscape analysis is equally important of doing a freedom to operate analysis. It's same as doing your prior search. Right? It's equally important. It will make you as a profession, as an enriched professional.
Correct.
So do that, and whatever you like it. If you like doing your job in a law firm, please do it. There people are doing great.
Right.
You have started your company.
Yes.
You are doing great. There are my certain people started with me. He is now is a junior counsel in a Delhi High Court. He's argued the case in front of the judges. He's doing well. I moved in-house. So I'm also doing good. I'm also doing good. So it's like what you
different
like.
choices.
Different choices, whatever you want.
Right.
But only suggestion is ki be involved in the work, do everything, and open to always a learning.
That's really important. That is where I also see when there is a wrong attitude towards learning, or whenever we give something new, and if we get that, I don't know.
Correct.
Even I don't know.
You
We
should-
need
true,
to. We
true,
need
true,
to do it.
True.
Right? Sometimes it's the
Correct,
case.
correct,
Even
correct.
I don't know, but we have to do it.
Correct.
So that kind of attitude is really required as a team to grow. Actually, so thank you for that inputs. Actually, so this will help IP professionals to redesign, reshape their careers in a better way. So thank you for sharing your experience in. And your total journey actually. So now coming back to the patents actually, where a lot of people or startups and MSMEs, big companies have experts like you because they may not feel these kind of challenges, but MSMEs and startups have a lot of challenges on what to file as a patent, what can be done to innovate as well. So what is an ideal patent in your perspective? How people should approach for it?
Yeah. So ideal way of, like, this is what I learned from whatever my Japanese 3 weeks journey there.
In Japan.
So Japan, in
Okay,
Japan.
okay.
So they use a principle of a MPDP.
MPDP,
MPDP. So
Okay.
they use a principle. So first M is for marketing.
marketing.
So they find out what is needed to the people.
Okay,
What is the need of the people.
okay,
So, and they develop the technology on the need of the people.
okay, okay.
Then after M there is the P, then patent.
Uh-huh.
Then based on the technology whatever you have developed, you generate a patent.
Okay.
Then third one is a D for a design. Design both the designs. One engineering design and another is the industrial design, means aesthetic.
Design patent.
Design patent. So they work on both the things.
Okay.
So not only on the engineering part of the design, but also aesthetic part also. And the last one is the promotion,
Okay.
like advertisement, promotion, all those things.
Mhm.
So if you miss any of these things
Mhm.
in that MPDP, if you miss any of the things, then your patent has no
Exactly.
significant value. When if you want your patent to have a significant value, you follow all these principles. All these things has to be merged with each other. Then that's what create a very good patent. As you are also aware, so out of the 100 patents, only 20% or maximum 30% patent are commercialized.
Correct.
70% patent are the paper tigers.
Correct.
Why paper tiger? Because they don't follow this technology.
Correct.
So, as you said, for startup, for any organization, not startup, any organization, if they want their patent portfolio to be very strong patent portfolio, then they should follow this principle of MPDP. Firstly, like, there is no need, like, if you invented something, but there is no need, and you file a patent, then there is no point in that patent, because after 4 years, what you will do, you will not renew it, and then it will get abandoned. So, and suppose only there is a patent, but there is no good aesthetic to that product. So that aesthetic also is important, and engineering design is also important. So if all this combination you do, then it's a very excellent patent, and it will like when I started this career patent, what I used to thought, if I file a patent, I will become a millionaire. Still people think
Still people
but yes, you will become a millionaire when you follow this principle.
Okay.
But just mere filing a patent, you will go nowhere.
Right.
No, you will go. So, as I said, that IIT Roorkee workshop, 3D workshop I attended, there so many people were there. And I was asking some question about this patent. So, one person has specifically come to me and he told me, you don't go for filing patent application. I said, why? He said, very costly. And as you know, it's very costly. If you file in Europe or in USA, it is very costly.
Very costly.
So it means instead of generating income, you will lose money from your pocket.
For only patenting.
For only patenting. So ideal ways to you follow this principle, and after following this principle, only you will become a millionaire. And I have seen the case in a law firm. I have seen there used to be simple worker. A worker used to be there. His one hand was amputated.
Okay.
His amputated hand, but he was very creative. He lost his job because of his amputation of his hand, and in his backyard of his farm, he used to generate something like related to wind energy or something. He used to file a patent application, something he used to do, but he used to do the practical invention, like as I said, which are useful or
Solving practical
solving practical problems. So After some 2 or 3 years, I have seen that same person coming in a big car and he has sold his patent to a big win manufacturing company.
Oh,
And
okay.
then he has become really rich. So it's an example. So
That's a
think
great
that
example.
it will-
India needs this kind of more examples actually.
Yeah, it will. It's not like that. It will not happen. So, but only thing you have to be following this principle. Then only you will get it. Otherwise, like sometimes people approaches big organizations and say like, I want to license or assign this patent to you. And I have seen most of the time we are rejecting those their proposals. Why?
So
Because
99% rejection is there.
correct. You're
I'm not also betting on 1%.
correct.
Still, it's difficult.
Correct.
1%.
Because why? Because suppose my organization is doing the R&D in the same field and we are at a certain level and you are coming with the same thing, I will not buy your patent. No? I will not buy your patent. I will not get license. But if you solve my problem, I am because even though you take any big organization, they also feel they are also facing some problems. There are also some problems. They also want to enter a new market, but there is some hindrance. But if you solve their problem, you solve their hindrance to enter in the market, they are ready to buy the patents at a good cost.
Okay.
Really at a good cost. There is because in a R&D, doing a R&D, initiating R&D and then putting that R&D into the vehicle, it involves a cost. It involves a big cost. So if the same cost, if I have to get away with that cost and I am taking that invention from some say startup or any other organization is very happy to do that. But don't come with the same thing which already in-house people are doing.
Means there is a either mismatch. Sometimes I have seen that either their invention is very primitive. Jugaad. I am sorry to say, but most of the people do jugaad only. Innovation takes time. It needs little more efforts, and then licensing becomes easy. Or they do something which may be related to automotive, but it may be absolute or very futuristic, or maybe very complex.
Correct.
And then it becomes difficult. ये तो बहुत complex है. Maybe I think so. Company will see good problem identified.
Correct.
But let me solve it my way.
Correct. Right? So what will happen? Like if in a big organization, R&D is already solving so many problems. They are into it. So generally we fear. So suppose some person comes to us and say that I wanted to either assign his patent application or license. So we fear. We generally what we do, we don't entertain. There are two reasons. What will happen? Like if we entertain and we are already doing such technology, then the people who approach us think that okay, we have taken their technology. So that's what we.
That is also a problem.
That is also a problem because later people they don't know what is going in the in-house or organizations.
Right.
They don't know what's happening, but they think okay, whatever they have done, maybe it's only they are doing it.
Only they know. Only they think that company doesn't know or they don't have this idea.
But we are doing this. So we firstly tell the people, if you want to come to us, so either your patent application is already published one. Or if you want to do it, like we will have a proper agreement. So later I should not have a problem.
Right.
Then later you will say that okay, I have disclosed it. And hota hai aisa. Well, it happens. So that's what the in-house R&D people are very fearful of attending such, and I have worked on such requests from outside people. So what we generally do, firstly you approach us after your application has been published, or we will have proper agreement. So that later I will not be in a trouble. And for a people, it's easy to sue, not sue, but defame a very good organization. Defame a good organization that they can simply say, okay, they have taken my technology. But ऐसा नहीं होता ना कि you are working good. We are respectful to yourself, but that doesn't mean we are not working.
We are not capable also.
We are a big R&D team and people have spent their life in that particular technology. So they are very well capable of doing it.
So I think this is a good input for the aspiring inventors specifically.
Correct.
To do something that is really useful for the industries actually. One more question I have actually, because this is the question that I have been receiving from academia as well as from the startups as well. Not much from startup, but academia. What if they approach the company first? What if they approach company and company gives them a problem which they can work on? Is that possible, or company wants everything to be kept secret because they don't want to disclose where they are heading? This is one thing that I have found, where academia are filing a lot of patent and there is a zero licensing opportunity.
Correct.
And they are pushing me. I said, no, it's not going to happen.
Correct.
Because not in line. So this way I found it, this is one thing that can happen.
Correct.
But can it really happen?
Correct. It's a very good question. What is happening is that there is something, I think, is a trust deficit, what we can say. Like, suppose now the problems are not unknown. Like, if suppose, be it automobile industry or be it any other industry, the problems are known. Everybody knows. Like, suppose I am talking about the EV. What are the still continue problems is the charging. How reducing the charging of the battery and the higher range.
Correct.
Everybody knows that. That's the problem. Academia knows that, and in-house people also knows that. Everybody knows that. So knowing the problem is not, but the trust, whether the academia will able to solve the problem of the in-house industry is not sure.
Okay.
Except now, I know there are IITs who work very well working with them. Otherwise, what is the general thinking of the industry is that these people are theoretical one, and my problems are practical. I want a proto. I want a physical solution of my thing. Theory I am not interested in. So that's, I think, a trust deficit is there. And as you said, my personal suggestion, or what I have understood till this date, is that whenever academia wants to approach a industry, they should come with a proto, at least a prototype. They should come with at least a good POC.
Okay.
So then only the industry will keep a belief on them, or they have confidence that okay, I can have a relationship with the academia. But if academia comes with only a theoretical solution to me, so there are so many theoretical solutions available. Lot of them. And sometimes you also told, like, there is a solution which is increasing my cost multiple time. So I will not buy that solution.
Correct.
So because you see the customers, what they want a better product
with less quality, with less cost.
Correct.
Sorry.
They want more features into your any product, and they want a less cost. So they don't want more features with the more cost. They want more features with the less cost. So in that case, then you have to do your innovations, your R&D in such a way that I have to go for a optimized, reduced cost and more features.
Right.
So that way we have to come. And then academia, whenever they wanted to approach industry, they at least come with a POC or the proto, so that they will, like, as I told, money is not a problem. Like, for a big industries to invest crores or more than crore with some for R&D or giving academia to develop something, money is not a problem. People have a money, but only thing whether they trust the academia whether they are able to come with the solution, proper solution. So that is the thing. And I have seen there has been always a discussion within the organization. Can we approach a startup? Can we approach academia?
There is already discussion.
Yes. There is always a discussion. Can we approach academia? Can we approach a startup? Can we approach this one for this kind? But then there is a gap. There is like industry wants I should be collaborating with the startup for my solution. Startup wants I have a solution. Can I collaborate with the industry to sell or assign my thing? But then there has to be proper handshake. As I said, you come with a proper POC or a prototype which is solving their problem. Now, problem everybody knows what are the problem industry facing. You come with it. Industry is very well happy to purchase those.
So this is a great perspective that industries are willing, but there is a deficit of credibility, I can say.
Correct.
Correct. Not credibility is what they think is little bit problem.
Otherwise, I can properly word is that the way of approaching is different. Like suppose I am academia and I see that this is my patent. I have filed so many patents and it's good. They are good knowledgeable people and they come that I have done this and now I want to I want industry to take that patent and develop everything from their side. Industry has a thing that okay, you don't give me a theoretical solution. You at least build something tangible to me, then I will. I don't have a problem.
They at least have to know how of building the product.
Correct.
Right? So that is also what we saw recently. We invested in a startup, wanted to invest in a startup, thought of having a very fascinating idea of they solved a very good problem actually.
Okay.
And then I asked few engineers, can we at least make industrial designs out of it, aesthetically good, but it was not at all possible.
Then what?
So then I thought, ideas are good, theoretically it looks good, but when you do go practically, it seems impossible. So then I asked him, at least you make a prototype, as you mentioned. One prototype banao. Then I think so I will be able to visualize it, whether it is really working or not. Before that, investing is little it's a problem.
No, because it's for everything, cost is money is a big problem. Everybody wants to invest, have a money, but nobody wants to invest in a thing which they are not sure.
Thank you for this inputs, because I think so industry, thousands of patents have been filed by the academia. There has to be something that even government has to regulate. If they are getting fundings for this kind of R&D, at least something should come to the society. At least come. Otherwise, this is our money actually, hard money, which has been wasted for just building profile. And it is happening since I think so. The day we joined IPR, from that day onwards till today, it is happening. But names are just changing.
Right. No, that's correct. That's
so I think so. If at all you want to give any message to the academia directly that this is what you have to do.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It will be easy for them.
No, what only simply industry is ready to take the your ideas, your patent. Only thing you come with a concrete thing. If you come with a concrete, everybody is happy because there is a need. I can tell you very confidently that there is a need in the industry for the good developments or good products, good innovations. Only things the need has to be matched.
So as you mentioned that nowadays problem is well known. With AI also the problem, getting access to the problems of the industry has become easy. Is there any better concrete way of doing due diligence with respect to finding a relevant problem to solve?
So what I can see here, like finding a problems people know, but finding a solution is difficult, because nowadays what is happening, the market, you say, like a competition is very tough competition.
Right.
So there are countries where the manpower is very economical. They can, like, whatever your manpower cost and their manpower cost is very less. They have the technology also. They can give a product, like finish a product to you at a cost maybe 30%. Correct. 1/4 also. So then, if you have to deal with such a competition, then innovation is only the required. And so then innovation. So what are the cheap in the sense you have to economical way, cost effective way of doing it. So that's the thing. Problem everybody knows. Solution you have to, again as I said, like if I can take up any product, anything, like suppose a fan also. What is the requirement of this thing? The fan, people want the low economy, like a cost of the fan should be low, its operating cost should be low. Means like whatever the electricity consumption you want, it should come low. Weight of the fan should be low, and the reach of the reach of the coverage area of the your flow of the air should be more. The flow should be more. The volume of the air should be more. So that is what is the requirement.
Simple. It's very simple.
It's very simple, but it's very difficult to do. it's very difficult to do. So that way the problems are not only the, we have to concentrate on the solutions.
So, if for academic, I think so. This can be a message. I think at least try to build a prototype and then start connecting with the big companies. That is where at least they can get some exposure, I guess, right? Otherwise, 50, 500,000, 2,000 patents all wasted.
No, that is correct.
So, what is comprehensive due diligence that is required with respect to patents for the companies who want to aspire to build their patent portfolio?
So there is at what stage of your R&D is there, based on that there is a different kind of due diligence. Like suppose I am initiating a new project or new product. So in that case, before starting up the new product, you have to see what is the landscape of technology, landscape of the patent, then what are the white spaces available with me, what is the market research has to be done. So all those things you have to compulsory, and what are the competitors are doing, that you have to compulsory see before initiating any new project or any R&D development. So that's the first initial due diligence. After that, once you have developed your R&D to a considerable level of the thing, you have to do the prior art searches, patentability searches, to see like whether such technology is already there. After that, like suppose you have built a POC or you have developed a proto, then in that case you have to see before testing or during testing you have to see whether you have freedom to operate in the market, because that's the correct period of the time to see whether you have any threat of infringement. If you have any threat of infringement, then you can change the design. That time only. Like suppose change of design is not possible, if that is the only solution, then you can approach the person for the licenses,
patentee who
has a patent. We can approach them for the license, because my personal opinion, most of the time fighting a suit is very costly than taking a license from a person. So take a license at that if possible, alternate technology is not available. Now once your product is in the market, then the due diligence differs. Then you have to see what are the competitors are doing, whether somebody is copying, because every organization do tear down on the benchmarking analysis. So then you can do that tear down benchmark analysis and see whether somebody is copying your technology. You have to see the what is happening in the market, what are counterfeits are, whether there are counterfeits are there. That you have to do after the launch of the product, and after the during every frequent period of the time you have to see what are my portfolio is. Like you have to audit, correct. You have to do the audit of your portfolio, whether which are the patents are the dormant one, which are the patent you can license or assign to somebody else, even though it's not useful to you, may be useful to somebody else. What you can straightforward abandon, what you can donate to the society.
Donate also is one of the options.
Yeah, we can do it. People do it. People do it. People do it. People do it. Which choice they do it?
They just abandon the patent?
Yeah, just abandon. Let people do it. So you can use for the cross licensing. Like suppose I am good at a particular technology and my competitor is good at the some similar technology. I can cross license the technology. I can go this one. So based on the what level of the R&D you are there, the due diligence varies, and you have to do it. If you don't do, then I see whatever the litigations, whatever I see, the litigation is very costly matter. It's a costly matter, and you are at a very susceptible stage that your products are in the market. One stroke of court, everything your crores of rupees will be
stuck in the market.
Will be this. So it's better to do this due diligence properly, so that later things will not happen. And even though, like suppose, now litigation part has also comes, so I will go more. So like suppose any litigation firstly start with a legal notice. Correct. With a legal notice, you have to very carefully see what are the wordings of the wordings of the legal notice. Sometimes they say they use word licenses or something. So you need to say, okay, it's a comparatively a soft notice. But when they use word litigation and all those things, then you have to say no. Now there is a threat of the litigation. So in that case, you have to see like see who has sent you notice, what is his background, whether it's like a big company or whether it's like a non-patent entity.
Or is they are serious or not? Also.
They are serious. What are the patent portfolio they have? Which patent they are talking? Sometimes what has happened, like the particular patent has only 1 or 2 years left, and then only to get the money from the people they send the notices to all the people. But there are certain cases which there is a considerable period is remaining of that patent, and they have a thicket of patent around that particular patent application. Then that time also you have to see like what are the chances and what is your whether you have to do then analysis, claim map analysis, whether you are really infringing those product. If you are infringing, then what are you? Litigation is affordable to you. If the litigation is not affordable to you, whether you can go for the licensing, whether license is affordable to you. So all those things you have to see. All those things you have to see, and then based on that you have to take a call on those part.
So as an external person, as I sit outside. As a law firm or knowledge outsourcing firm, we see very less litigations happening in India.
Correct.
That's one of the reasons where people don't tend to do FTO much when we propose them, or even in-house. I am not aware of all those things. So, what is your perspective? How mature is India in perspective of this litigation matters, or just India में एक है कि सब चलता है?
I will tell you. You see, next 10 to 15 years, litigation are going to increase a lot. They will certainly increase.
But now, by Indian companies, or it will be again by only foreign companies? Actually,
both. Maybe started by the foreign companies, but then it will happen both ways, because with the advent of the standard essential patent and the SEPs are coming into your hard products. Now what we are seeing, as of now we are seeing SEPs, telecom industry, 5G, 6G we are seeing, and then as you are also aware now, litigation between these tech companies are already there, and there are good judgment by the Delhi High Court on those things. But now, as you say, now any hard product is not only hard. Now they are coming the software into it. IoT is coming into it. Then you are the when IoT comes, then your telecom comes. When the telecom comes, then these SCPs comes. And when these SCPs comes, then SCPs are used to litigation. And now with the advent of the technology, you take any device in your home, be it a car, be it a fan, be it any like whatever you take, anything you take, it has a IoT component. It has a IoT component. It has to deal with the SCPs. When you have to deal with the SCPs, then you have a threat, and it's a big threat. I can see it. It's coming. It's really coming.
But most of these SAPs are held by foreign companies only. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. Again, I will tell the bigger problem.
Okay.
Generally, what happens when these companies like hard engineering companies, they want to do whatever the IoT components or these communication devices, they don't develop. They take it from some third party. And then they install into integrate into there. Now, whenever these SCP people they approach, they will not approach the small player. They will approach a bigger player.
The person who is using it.
the person who are using it, they approach the bigger player, and they want the license from them.
Big money is there, no?
Big money is there. But what is the problem by these engineering companies? Because they are not developed it. They are taking from the vendor. They are only using it. So this is for me, my own analysis. This is going to be the big challenge. This one, and companies, particularly these engineering companies, has to deal it very carefully. Otherwise, these SCPs will make their life.
Yeah, that is where I see an interesting things happening in India. Where I was assuming that we don't have a mobile phone. Then later on, we came to know that we don't have our own TV. Then later on, we came to know that we don't have our own cameras as well.
Correct.
So all these high-tech companies are literally dominating Indian market.
Correct.
Right? What is lacking in India, or Indian innovation, or Indian perspective, that we are not able to build something indigenously which is more advanced and to competitive in comparison to other players actually globally? Because I think so we have talent, there is something that is not correct, I think. So what is your perspective on this?
No, what I think, like, we are doing good. We are doing good, but we started late. That's what I think. We started late. They started much earlier than us, so that's what their results we are seeing. We are seeing the results, but we have started late. But we are also giving results, and we will able to match them. We, as you said, as you correctly said, we have talent. We are really have a very good talent. Our people only go to outside and they do the miracles. So talent wise is not, but our companies also started. They are also really doing good, and they will do. But only thing there is a like a first start approach. These people have already started, and we have lately started. And again, we have to continue the journey, and our benchmark should be the global, not the local,
right,
not,
right.
not local.
Because at least if you are building a patent portfolio like many companies like do, they have their local bigger portfolio, and then they expand it. At least they make sure that in local country,
Correct.
there are a few companies who are dominating. Like
Correct.
for example, in China, BYD has expanded like anything.
Correct.
There are a few other players who will have to capture the market. But in India, we don't see that happening. There are multiple companies entering in, and yeah, we have a big market. That's what I can say.
They have so many advantages with them. They have started early, maybe manpower advantages, maybe technology advantages they had. Now we are also doing good, but only it will take time. It will, my perspective, my own perspective, because it will take time. It's a like you have to do a marathon. Like somebody has started early and somebody has like started late. Then the person who is, even though he's more faster, but the person who has already started, he will complete his race first.
So, what is one nitrogen boost that we can have to just reach or exceed others in your perspective, or we don't have such kind of boosters?
Booster is that innovation is only the booster.
Fast innovation.
Yeah, fast innovation. We are very well capable of it. We are very well capable of that.
So we'll talk about some mythbusters actually, or common mistakes actually that the person or inventors do with respect to IP. Do you have any kind of a list?
Yeah. So the biggest mythbuster is that filing a patent will make you a millionaire. It's a biggest myth.
Okay.
So that myth we have to undo.
Okay.
Second myth is that a patent, like even though you have so many patents, that those may be paper tigers. Unless and until, as I said, MPDP, you follow that MPDP principle, then only your patent has a approach value. Again, in an organization or as an individual also, what we have to see, judicious filing need to be done. So, like filing a patent, even though it solves all the criteria of the patentability, maybe novelty, inventive step, and industrial application, even though we are doing that, but at the end of the day, am I making a product at less cost and adding more features? That I have to see. If I am able to do that, then I am justifying my cost, because filing a patent is a cost only. Unless until you generate a new income from it, then it's a cost.
Right.
So we have to think in that way and file a patent that judiciously. When you do that, then only the meaning of the IP will come.
Right. But I think so. As you mentioned, that is one of the biggest myths. Just by filing a patent application, we will be a millionaire. Correct. It's not.
Correct.
And
it was a myth also when I started.
even I thought, because earlier it was when I saw that 600 patent portfolio, 1000 patent portfolio still lying, and when we approached this colleges actually, then they say you take this patent for licensing. I said, what you don't have? Do you have access to the company? Yes. Do you have access to the management people? Yes. Then what miracle we are going to do? So I think so. You know that fact that it is not going to be licensed. so this is one thing actually, and just building the numbers of patent, just adding numbers of patent will also not give any license, because I've seen startup. There was one startup who approached us, not only academy actually, a very good startup from Pune or around Pune, and they had filed several patents. Even they have received awards from the PM, but difficult to make money from the patents.
No, it's like, so that's the biggest thing, and that's the biggest challenge faced by the in companies also, because having patent is a different thing, but at the end of the day, what you are doing with that patent, that's the biggest thing, because the more you will increase the ratio. What for me, for any organization, the best ratio is a 50%. At least 50% of your patent portfolio is in a product.
In the product form.
Is in the product.
Right.
Then only your portfolio has a meaning.
Right.
I have seen there are certain organization have 100%,
Right.
but having 100% is very difficult, because
it's very difficult.
If you do that, then practically you are killing the innovation. But there is a certain, definitely there are certain levers that I have a future perspective. I think, okay, this patent, even though I may not be using now, but in a future, let's say 2-3 years later, I may use it. So that's what that lever can be. But at least the 20% has to be at least 50%, 60%. So and 30-40% you can keep, okay. That's a part of innovation, because there is always a scope. That's
because you
all.
need to keep barriers to prevent others.
Yeah.
Some patents are used for that also.
Correct.
So with this one example I have to share and ask you also. There are companies like Arms Holding, which has 100% patent portfolio, no manufacturing setup.
Correct.
Recently I read Dolby. It's a system which integrates hardware from any company. It's again a software-based company who doesn't have their own product. There are many other companies who are making money not even by selling a single product.
Correct.
Their entire portfolio or money or revenue is built on licensing.
Correct.
So is it possible in India also to see these kind of companies coming in future?
Actually, ideally, the big R&D organizations strive for this only. One of my super bosses, I don't know to name him, he's a very respected person. He given a IP department the same target. So he was thinking at certain your IP department should be certain that at certain period of time we are not doing any products. We are getting the money only by licensing those technology. As what was the example we were, and ideally that should happen. When that happens, that is the highest form of the innovation, or highest form of the
intellectual property. So what is holding them back? Is it the lack of R&D or lack of IP? What is lagging? IP or R&D?
No, what is saying like again I say
lagging. I can say lacking. I should correct it. Lagging. I think so.
Lagging. I think it's a late starter. That's what, particularly in Indian companies I'm talking. It's a late starter. Now our people are also really doing well. There are certain organizations. Their IP department is worldwide. Global. Class. And like if you see the way they are working, they are not less than any world class organization. So that is there. We will do that, but as said, like we should have that target. Once you have that target, we can do it. But if we don't have that target, then we cannot do that.
Because the companies have a bigger challenge, I think.
Correct.
They lose talent also. Frequently.
Correct.
And then it's difficult to regenerate them, remotivate them.
No, so for that, then you should have an idea bank. You should have an idea bank. So because that is happen, nobody can say same people will use it continue. People will go, but like even though you fail, so there has to be idea bank of the failure, idea bank of the what went good. Because when next time somebody will come, like he will start with this base.
There is something base.
Otherwise, then why should start with the zero?
Right.
Like start with the zero, because like again coming to this point, like sometimes industry also want instead of reinventing the wheel, you can take buyout from outside. So that is also.
So recently I was reading a book which one of our mentors, I can say, Dr. Arun Kumar Kashyap, he suggested, Edison in the Boardroom. It's well written book where they have mentioned the importance of patents or intellectual property, where now in the company finance people are in the boardroom, but not IP.
Correct.
And that is one of the problem I see, where the people who are having a vision, if they are not included or retained for a longer period, or not given stakeholding in a company, maybe there will be always a dilution, distraction, or reinventing of something, even if it is strategy, not a product. So what is your perspective on this? Because this is one thing that I see is not happening in India, where everywhere else there is one person still sitting in the decision room actually.
No, this is very good. I can get it as a suggestion, or it's a really thing, as when IP should not be taken as an isolation. IP is never an isolation with the business. When the IP is integrated into the business, then only your product will go, your business will grow. Everything will grow.
Then why not include the IP person in the
correct. It's really good, because the same principle, Japanese principle, what I told, MPDP, where you has a marketing, you have a patent, you have a engineering design, you have a industrial design patent, you have a promotion or advertisement. So when the IP person has a information on all this part, then only he can holistically give his output.
Correct.
And the IP will be holistically involved into the business. So it's a really good suggestion, and it's a really important that the IP person, if he's in the board, he will get a better perspective of the business, he will get a better perspective of the functioning of the business. He can integrate his IP into the business.
His IP also. That's very important. Because see, sorry to interrupt you, but when we talk about IP, the IP professional also has an IP,
correct,
which may not be protected, but he owns it. But sometimes people just hesitate, hold it, because they don't know how long or how much they are getting from the company. Right? Is it correct?
No, it's once my perspective is, once you are in an organization, you are wholly into the it. But the certain time what is happening, you will not get a broader perspective, as you suggested. For getting a broader perspective, the IP person should know the business well. Once he knows the business well, he can integrate his IP. And his IP also is into the business, and he can do good. Because otherwise, there is always a dilemma of a IP person, that whether I am a part of a cost.
Correct.
Whether I am a part of a cost, and he always tries to be said that no, I am not a part of the cost. I am part of a business asset. He always tries to, but he can become a part of the business asset when he is involved into the business.
Correct.
And as you said, it's a very good thing. I think second or third time I am hearing from somebody. So really, you put up very good point, and definitely I am with your whatever the suggestion is there. And IP person should be part of the board. IP person should be part of the business, broad business views, so that it's not beneficial for the IP. It's beneficial for the company also.
It's going to be beneficially ultimately to the company only, because that's a machine which earns money by selling products, and IP is one of the key, I can say.
Correct. And it's an important field, and going ahead, it will become one of the most important field, because now what I see in coming future, as we have talked some time back, litigation is less, but now we see in trademark the litigations are very high. Means that people are very cautious about filing a trademark, and litigations and trademark are very high. If you see, there are so many oppositions happening in the trademark part, but in comparison, the patent is less, litigation less. But moving ahead, in your patent, the litigation are going to be a lot. So in that way, IP should be a part of business, and that's what I always suggest higher management the same way. And I have nothing than to agree with you.
Disagree with you. Thank you for that, because this is what this is my perspective. I just want to put, because I have seen a lot of organizations, big companies. There are very few in India to observe actually, where there is a decision made. There is an R&D person sitting in there, and then IP people, they just follow. They are just followers right now. They are not given that leadership role yet. But that will change the entire thing because they know what is happening
Correct.
more than what is.
No, correct. And they also wanted to be part of the your bigger business perspective, so that there is always what you can say, there is always something going on the IP person's mind, that whether he is a part of a cost.
Okay.
And
That's a very negative feeling.
and he always wanted to get away with that feeling that no, he should be part of the asset. And with this, he can definitely become a part of the asset.
Right, because ultimately, otherwise they will end up doing small things.
Correct.
They will just bill. Come ho gaya.
Correct.
But their intellectual asset is not been utilized as an asset for the company.
Correct.
That's where this can happen, right? Thank you for this suggestion. So that's all question from me.
Yeah.
So your final advice to the IP professionals first, and then inventors.
So I
It's
think
a very interesting field.
I think I have already given in our discussion this one. I don't want to be specifically, but like if one advice I can give, don't take IP in isolation. Always take IP as a part of business, and how IP should be in an asset class than in a cost class. If you take that, then it's always you do miracle. The person will do miracle, that organization will do miracles. So before we conclude, I have a question. From long, I have a question. I wanted to know your journey, because we have worked in like that time, both of us. We have worked. After that, like that time, I remain in this industry, means like part of the in-houses and all those things. And always, I am very curious about how your part, like you are first generation entrepreneur, I can say.
Yes.
You started from scratch. Now you have a good team with you. You are doing well. So how is this journey from a person who was working in a law firm as an associate or a partner level or whatever, and then starting your own? What are the like if I can ask you,
Yes, please.
what are the three biggest challenges, or what are the biggest challenges you faced, how you overcome, and then how you achieved whatever you achieved till this time?
Three big challenges I will tell you. First is credibility.
Okay.
Because when you're a first generation entrepreneur, no one knows you. You have to build your credibility from scratch, and building a credibility takes a lot of time, and that is the difficult part, because people observe you in every perspective, and then they decide whether to work with you or not, because patent is 20 years process. It's not that कि 10 रुपए का माल ले लिया next day भूल गए, ऐसा नहीं है. So that is one big challenge that I can say that I have faced, and hopefully to certain extent I am trying to maintain that credibility. That's the reason still we are surviving, I can say, or sustaining. Next is financial challenges. It's for a first generation entrepreneur without backup. It's challenging. It's challenging because I have not taken any investment. I started with zero investment, expecting, started with outsourcing work, you know that. So small outsourcing work I used to get initially. And then one day I thought that महीने में मेरी जरूरत कितनी है. That is what I decided, and then I took a leap of faith, and somehow client have blessed me to make me stand in this position right now. So that is the blessing that I received from the entire society. That is one blessing only, I can say. And third is, in India specifically, 90% of the business is dominated by old law firms. 90%. It's more. But I'm still being optimistic. And it's the biggest challenge, because unsaid, some are been holded by foreign entities, actually started by foreign entities, and still they're holding positions, and their legalities we don't know, but these foreign companies are still holding legal firms in India. This is where we have to break something and bring everything to the Indian society, which we are doing in bits and pieces way. So that is the biggest challenge for any company, or those who want to aspire to come into this industry, is that what I am facing, I can say.
And I always praise you, and I always wonder how you journey, because we know each other from long. So I know that after the closing down of Lexadine.
Lexadine, right, correct.
Closing down of the Lexadine. So the different people take different paths.
Everyone went scattered.
Yeah.
So this was a shock for the people who were there in
Correct,
Lexadine. I was
correct.
fortunate I left a little early.
So that's what I was wondering. We have met so many times, but this specific question I wanted to ask.
Thank you for asking. Thank you. Thank you. It was pleasure talking to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
And you shared your perspective very openly. And I hope this will definitely benefit our companies, IP fraternity, industries, so that we can look into IP in something, some different way where it becomes a real asset. So thank you for giving your time and coming to this
Just
podcast.
before concluding, just I wanted to give a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So whatever the views expressed here is my personal views. It has nothing to do with whatever the organizations I have worked. And in the entire podcast, I have not disclosed any proprietary or confidential information of any organization I worked. So again, thank you, Sunit, for inviting me to your esteemed podcast. Thank you.
Thank you. And this video is sponsored by Vinayak IP Solutions, which is an intellectual property firm expert in building intellectual property strategies for MSMEs, startups, MNCs, and academics. So thank you for watching this podcast. If you like this podcast, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and also spread the knowledge that you are getting with the relevant fraternity. Also, if you want to learn something, or if you want me to invite any expert, just write in the comment box. I will try my level best to invite those experts on this podcast also. Keep investing, keep inventing, and keep earning tremendously. Thank you very much.